Hey everybody, this is Pops Reviews, and I have a special kind of unboxing here or unpackaging that I just got today that I'm very, very excited about. Um, as you can see what it is on the table here. I just want to mention that I haven't really been able to do any videos of recent just because I've just been busy. I have another job that I'm doing right now, um, so time has been very hard to put out videos and that, and so I apologize for not making enough videos right now, but um, I knew this was kind of coming. I was purchasing this game here, so I knew a video for this was needed. There was only one video on YouTube that I could find about this particular game here, and as you can see, it is called The Squared Circle, a pro wrestling simulation game. And this is the core rulebook here. This is the hardcover version I purchased from Lulu Books. So, and this was made by a Mr. S.T. Patrick. I'm going to call him Saint Patrick because the amount of work that he did to go into this game is unbelievable. And as you know, I'm a wrestling fan. I play the Phil Singer games, Legends of Wrestling. I love that. I love that game very much. Um, and I was just in the market to just try out another wrestling game. I've been looking at other wrestling games, and there was a few that kind of jumped out at me, but not making me push the button to go after it and get it kind of thing. And I saw on one of the other YouTube channels, Mr. Al Red Sox fan, he was doing another wrestling game that he had from back when. I believe it's called Chris's wrestling dice game. So I was kind of interested in that just for another change. And I was trying to do a YouTube, or not a YouTube search, but a Google search to see where that game was. And I somehow came across this game. And so I was kind of looking at it before, and trying to see kind of what it was about. But at the time when this was out, I believe this was made in 2020, I think. Let me just open this up again. Um, so this the publications here. Yes, so this was made in 2020 by S.T. Patrick from MWN Publications. Uh, Mr. S.T. Patrick, he has also done other simulation magazines that you could find from MWN Publications through lulu.com. That's where you would find and purchase this book if you are interested, or any of his other publications. Um, so, yeah, so I saw this book on here, and there was only just the one book at the time, I believe. It was just this here. This is the core rule book here for uh, the Squared Circle, and this is featuring the 1986 Crockett Mid Atlantic Territory. So at the time, I was just, I don't know if I was yet into Phil Singer games, but I wasn't sure probably about this game just yet. And then I got into the Phil Singer games, Legends of Wrestling, and I really loved the Phil Singer games, Legends of Wrestling. This is not a slight on either game. I think there's room for both games in my collection, and I really believe I haven't played this game yet. I've been kind of looking over the rules and that, but I really believe one game is kind of like watching a really good TV show or TV series, and one game is like watching a really good full length movie. Okay, so both really good depending on how much time you have to invest in one or the other. Okay, that's how I believe that these two games kind of compete against each other. Okay, um, but I'm super excited. This just came in the mail today. This is the core book. I got everything for it, so I'm going to show off everything. I don't understand how this game has been around, and I've been reading on there's a forum site called Delphi, 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 that was talking about this game and all the guys that love this game. And yet, when you do a YouTube search, there was only just the one video, and it's not even showing off the game really. It's just it's showing off the game, but not like in this book form. The guy had an Excel or something like that he was running it on, and that was it. That was the only information as far as video uh, on this game. So uh, I took the dive. I wanted to get it. So I went on Lulu, and I liked how the flow was. I haven't played it personally yet. I want to get into it. I'm going to tell you a bit of the ins and outs, maybe of maybe how to purchase this. So I went onto Lulu. I ordered these hardcover books. Now, the books, they came in this packaging here. Okay, so we're gonna get to this book here. I'm gonna open it. We're gonna look through all these books here and give you an idea of what you're gonna be getting into if you purchase this game. Okay, um, so they have. So I purchased the hardcover books because I love hardcover books. I love, like, my comics or omnibuses. I like to have them on the shelf nicely. So I purchased this in hardcover book form, and actually, to be honest, the best way to probably purchase this is probably they have three different options. You could purchase it as a PDF, a soft cover, and a hardcover. So the hardcover is nice probably to put on your bookshelf and that, but not really not really game friendly, because you're going to want to obviously have your wrestlers wrestle against each other, and a lot of this book is the wrestlers, just like this here. See, like, you have Buddy Landell and Bill Dundee. But, if you want Buddy Landell to wrestle against somebody else, like if you want him to wrestle against, uh, you know, uh, Jimmy Valiant, for instance, here, you can't really have them, you're going to be going back and forth through the pages here. And then, there's different charts in that for the game. So the best way, I think, to purchase this game really is through PDF. Okay, if you are able to print it off, excuse me, and print off the different charts, and like, you don't have to print off everything right away, because I know it's expensive probably, to print off pages from books and stuff like that. So print off what you need, and or what wrestlers you need, and come back to it after a while or whatever. If you have the money, great, print it all up. But uh, just a little advice here. Like, the best way to probably purchase is PDF. It's a lot cheaper than the hardcovers. The hardcovers are really, they're costing Canadian. They costed, excuse me, and like, I think the most expensive one was $55 that I purchased, and then the rest of them I think were 40 in the 40s Canadian. So, and then the PDFs I believe are like around 15 to $18. So, that's probably the best way to purchase this book, um, or to purchase this game. Now, the other thing you're going to need with this game, as it's showing here, you're going to need dice. So the dice that you need are going to be essentially these here. So you're going to need, sorry, I'm just going to move the book out of the way here. So you're going to need two 6-sided dice. You're going to need two 10-sided dice, and as well, like, possibly a single-sided dice. For sure, you need a single-sided 10. And then, if you want to have the two different wrestlers, I have a blue and red. So then, I have three different 10-sided dice. So you can have those. You could also use a D20, and then also a D8. And then the book also says that you might also need a 4-sided dice and a 12-sided dice. I've never played any games with a 4-sided and 12-sided dice, so that's something I would maybe invest in, or maybe not even really need. I would have to read a little more on the game. So this is the so I'm just going to show the cover here. So this is it's a nice book. It's nice. It's a hardcover. This is the back here of the book. So you could see here it says what began as a regional pro wrestling territory in the Mid-Atlantic states was by midsummer 1986 competing with the largest wrestling companies in the world, aided by the cable superstation out of Atlanta, Georgia. The pro wrestling heroes of Southern fans became household names across America. The year 1986 was a peak year from Charlotte to Greensboro, from Atlanta to Richmond, and millions of homes. Did you ever want to pitch your favorite wrestlers against their hated enemies? How would you run your own battle royal? Who would be your first world heavyweight champion? Now you can run your own territory, draft your own stable, and create the dream matchups you always wanted to see. Welcome to the squared circle. The ring is yours. So this is super nice. You know, you're getting the nice wrestling pictures, of the guys that are pretty much in this game. So this is the core book. So it gives you a nice table of contents here to try and look through. And Mr. S.T. Patrick, he does a lot of write-ups here in this book, to kind of tell you his background of how he got into wrestling, or he started off, I believe, with his friends, wanting to make a wrestling game, and I think they came from a bit of a Dungeons and Dragons background, I think, possibly, and also sports games, Stratomatic and stuff like that. So this game is essentially, it's not like the Phil Singer games. Really, this is more a simulation. It's more of like a living wrestling game, I want to say, almost, because the guys have their points that they have for health, and then if you're doing a league, then you could, if guys are winning, you could add more points to them. Their points are essentially their fatigue in this game. So the better the wrestler, the more points that they have. And I'll show you how everything works a bit here. I'm still kind of learning the game a bit here, but so you have your introduction here to the game. There's a little bit to read here with this stuff here, but once you kind of go through it, and kind of come back to there's some things I had to come back to just to learn like what was going on here. So he kind of sets you up here, setting up your territory. So he's giving you information if you want to do a draft, if you want to do a federation, and the books as well. Like, the books are all compatible. So if you want to have, the NWA guys against the WWF guys, you're totally able to do that. The rankings for the guys are all cross compatible. So you have a good bit of write up here of setting your territory. It even has schedule creation, and showing what the dates were. So if you want to run your league according to how the dates were back in 1986 when this happened, you could do that. So he has all that here. Information about title matches and other types of things here, and then even a sample schedule of if you want to like set up how matches were back on these dates, how you could possibly do that or play out these matches even if you want. So this is pretty cool. Then he gives you a thing about understanding your wrestler sheet, because you're gonna each guy has their own sheet with all their moves on it. It's gonna look something like this here. Here's kind of like a mock-up kind of thing. So I guess this is a page if you wanted to kind of do your own wrestler and add them to the game. I guess you could if you wanted to do that. And then so they have the different things talking about all the different information given you of what everything is when it comes to the wrestling guy's card. And a lot of pictures here are in black and white, and that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. You have your PowerPoints. So the PowerPoints, again, are what each wrestler uses for their health in this game. And then, like I was saying, in this game, you're able to, if a wrestler wins a match, they're able to go up in points, and it shows, the situations for, how much points they get, or they, if they're subtracted. And this game is, it's just crazy. The amount of detail this man, Mr. St. Patrick, put in like, over 1,000, you know, 1,000 hours or more of watching wrestling video and really detailing each wrestler's move sets. And so this is just a love letter. This game here, these books, this is kind of his baby, essentially here. This game here, and he's trying to get it out to people, and this is just awesome. I just think this is awesome. I haven't even played this game yet, but just the presentation, um, of just how everything is right now, I'm just floored right now. And this is just the first book. This is the first book, even, and this is just the first territory here with the Jim Crockett Promotions, the NWA. So so it tells you about pinfall, submissions, levels. So some things like I had to kind of like read over and understand how they work. Because I'm like wondering how's the guys have levels and moves, and what's going to happen is each guy will have a certain amount of health, and then you're going to have to do a calculation to find out, where is he at level 0. That'll be his starting health. And then when he gets to level 1, what's his health? If he takes damage, where is he at level 1 for losing off from his initial health? And then level 2, when he loses more health, where is that? Like, where is level 2? What's his? So you're gonna write all that down for your wrestler, and then whenever there's a finishing move, it's gonna be rated A, B, C, D, or E. So then you would have to look, if it was a C rated move, then if the guy was at a level 3 like fatigue or energy, you would look C move level 3, and then you'd roll the 10-sided dice. You'd roll the 10-sided dice here. So then, if level C move level 3, you need a 6. You need to roll a 6 or more to get a count of 1. So you roll that. I rolled a 31, so he would get a count of 1. And then, for the count of 2, you'd have to roll a 20 or more. So you roll, it's a 38. So you got a count of 2. And then for the count of 3, you'd have to get an 83 or more. So you'd roll, and he got an 88. So then he would be pinned or submitted. So that's how pins work in this game, just by doing that here. So it kind of tells you what the first count is, second count, and the third count. So I really like that. A game that actually has its own pins that uses a 3 count or, the 3-arm raise submission. So he has all the different, there's also different types of write-ups that he has here concerning the game. He even has a special Andre chart. So this is kind of cool. If you have a character, if you're using Andre the Giant or someone like a Big John Studd, or, he uses Uncle Elmer, I think, as well. Some of these guys couldn't take, or Haystacks Calhoun, some of these guys could not take, these other guys' moves. So someone like, say, I don't know, for instance, like a Rey Mysterio, or a Shawn Michaels or whoever, like whatever lightweight guy, couldn't do their moveset to someone like an Andre the Giant. So essentially, they would have to use this moveset here against the way bigger man who's not really that mobile, and they would use the moves here when they're rolling to try and use, and not their own moveset. So I think that's kind of cool. I think that's that's very well thought of here. There's all kinds of notes, if you think your guy is able to do his moves on Andre or not, So this is very cool that he has a separate thing for this, because not everyone wrestles the same or is as powerful or whatever to do whatever moves to Andre the Giant or any of those other bigger heavyweights. And he kind of uses it more for guys that are not really mobile, like the Andre the Giants and the Haystack Calhoun and these other twin heavyweight guys and that kind of thing, So that's pretty cool that there's that chart. And then you're gonna have different charts here. There's a cheat chart. So you're gonna roll a 1 to 8 sided dice if your guy is cheating, and it gives you all the instructions to do that. And then there's also, there's tag team wrestling. So there's stuff for the different tag teams, and there's points for the tag teams and all that. So again, this is stuff I would have to read a little better on for tag teams, because I haven't played this game, just got it today. But I kind of am getting the idea of like how the singles matches are going to work, and now I'd have to read a little bit more on the tag teams, but each tag team has their own different sets and stuff like that. So you have that. Then there's a wrestling raffle chart, and what this is basically if your wrestlers, at the beginning of the game, you roll for control to see who gets their moves off first, and then if there's a tie with the dice, then you could go to the wrestling raffle chart, and then you roll the dice you roll both of them together, both d10s, and then it'll tell you what what's going on with the two wrestlers that are squaring off, kind of thing. So there's all kinds of different stuff here. This is where things could get really interesting in the match. There's all kinds of different situations in that. So you have that, and then you have a chart for being thrown out of the ring. So there's that, and then if your wrestler wants to wait patiently in the ring, you'd roll dice for that to see what happens with that. And there's also a match time limits. Now in this game, the time limit for this game is it goes by how many moves are pulled off. So for a 20-minute time limit, if there's 70 moves that have been used in the match, then that's 20 minutes. If you were going for a 20-minute time limit, then the match would be over. It'd be a draw, right? If it gets to that 70 moves or whatever. So you could use the different time limits if you want to do time limit, which is pretty cool. Because sometimes in my games too, I just have them fight right to the end. And then you have kind of like your what you would use to notify for what's going on in your match. So you have wrestler A, the move applied, and then the move count. It'll be one count, 3 or whatever it is for that move, and then the other wrestler his move, and you kind of just go downwards, and that's how you keep track of the match. Excuse me. So there's one for singles matches. There's one for a tag team match. Excuse me, guys. So he gives, and then there's a 6-man tag match, squared circle battle royal. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm just going to pause this. Okay, yeah, sorry, my throat was really dry there. I just had to get a drink of water. So, yeah, so they have for 6-man tag matches, and how it sets up for a battle royal. So there are different specialty matches in this here. Okay, so now we're getting to the wrestlers now. So here you have Ric Flair. So what makes this game really interesting is that this man, Mr. St. Patrick, he took the time and documented all of Ric Flair's moves back in this time period. So I believe the Legends of Wrestling, I'm going to bring up like the Iron Sheik's card here. So you're going to see the Iron Sheik, and on his left side is all his moves. Now he had different columns, and that's 6 moves in each column: level 1, level 2, and level 3 offense. So he has 18 moves on his card, okay? Plus whatever antics, they do on the other charts or whatever. But his actual moves are 18. As you can see here, there is more than 18 moves here, okay? So, this here is a real love letter to playing as Ric Flair in this time period and what he was doing, okay? So, here, you're gonna, you have what his rank is, if he's, if he's a champ or whatever, what type of specialty matches he might be, more familiar with, if he has a manager, main tag partner, secondary tag partner. So you'd fill all this out. And again, this is why I would say, again, probably get a PDF version of this game, because, for myself, I might have to think about either getting the PDF version, or, do I want to try and, scan a lot of these pages. So I'm going to have to come up with that conclusion for this. Okay, so but this is essentially here your information chart for your wrestler. This is your wrestler. This is where you're getting all his moves from. So as you can see here, all the rule you have your rules here, what you're going to be doing. So after you roll control, then you're going to roll the dice again for your wrestler, and then whatever you roll. So if you rolled a 53 to 68, that would be a punch, and then that punch would do a certain amount of damage. So the punch would be a +7. So you'd take a +7 plus you'd roll a d6 dice, and if you rolled say a 2, then that would be 9 points of damage to, let's say he was fighting Dusty Rhodes. So then Dusty Rhodes, if he had 840 points and you're doing 9 damage, now he's down to 831. So you'd have to do a little bit of math or whatever with the game, but it's making the wrestlers a little more, I think, realistic in a sense, because of who they are, and that there's a hierarchy, I guess I want to say. Like there's a difference between Ric Flair and someone like Bobby Jaggers or whoever that's in this game, Randy Mulkey or whoever. And I mean there is differences in the other games. I'm not saying that, but just the information that is here. This is crazy. This is just a crazy amount of moves here under Ric Flair. Okay, so then he even has little wrestler specific notes. If he's thrown in a turnbuckle, he takes that Flair bump, or if if he's wrestling if Dusty Rhodes is wrestling against him, and he has a 40% chance to try and reverse his figure 4 leg lock. So these are just intricate details that Mr. St. Patrick has put into his game. This is just unbelievable. So, I'm just going to show off because people ask, well, who's in this game? So I'll just kind of quickly show off, obviously there's Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. There's, Nikita Koloff, Magnum TA, all with their moves, all. One other thing I want to show too is at the bottom of the page here. Mr. St. Patrick has put his email down to squaredcirclegame@gmail.com. So this is, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, any kind of, if you want to, talk about this game or whatever, he is more than willing to answer your questions and stuff. And I have to thank him too because there is also a Facebook page that he has for the Squared Circle. It's run by his wife, I believe. Her name is Jen, and I haven't really personally gone. Actually, I used my wife's account because I'm not on Facebook. So I told my wife to join the group, and Mr. St. Patrick allowed my wife under her name to join the group. And so there's a lot of information there, and also with the Delphi forms. So, so getting back to this here, you have all these guys here, Nikita Koloff, Magnum TA, all with their own moves, okay? And I'm not knocking anything here. Like, I'm not knocking, say, like, the Phil Singer games, like, because the Iron Sheik has his moves, But again, this is only kind of like a small sample, or, it's a good sample of 18 moves. But here, again, is a large variety of moves here, rated from 1 to 100. And, I counted for one guy, I think he had close to 37 moves, I think it was. So that's just unbelievable, So, say Ron Garvin. How much does Ron Garvin have here? Let's count it, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Too much to count, right? I'm not even trying to count that. But a lot, okay? So, then we have Barry Windham, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, Old Warrior Hawk, Animal, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, Tully Blanchard, Jimmy Garvin, Bobby Eaton, Dennis Condrey, Rick Rude, Manny Fernandez, Ivan Koloff, Crusher Khrushchev, Jimmy Valiant. So as you can see too, some wrestlers, he didn't have a lot of moves for, but they did more frequently, so he posted it down. We're gonna talk about one guy when we get to like the WWF set here. Um, Black Bart, Ron Bass, and pictures are nice. You know who they are from their pictures. You got the Barbarian, you got Pez Watley, Shaska Watley, you got Baron Von Raschke, T-Ho Khan, Sam Houston, Nelson Royal, Buddy Landell, Bill Dundee. And again, like I'm not trying to like really break this open here. As you can see, this is kind of like the spine of the book here. So I don't know, it might hold, it might not. It's not. It's really well done for what it is, But time will only tell how much I'm opening this book here, how long it will last. But it seems of good quality. So there you can see Dutch Mantell, Bobby Jaggers, Brad Armstrong, Tim Horner, Hector Guerrero, Steve Regal. Here's the thing. When you're rolling for control in this game against the other player, and then you roll. If you got control, you roll. You do your move. You roll a 26 to 49. That's a punch. So then you're doing +7 damage plus whatever the single D6 adds to that, right? Then you roll back for control again with the opponent, and then let's say you roll a double star move here. So double star move means this is going to be an automatic pin attempt. So he's going to attempt the high cross body. It's going to be an E-rated move on the pin chart, and then whatever the guy's rating is, where he's at for his level, you're gonna look at that for the pin. If there is ever a single asterisk beside a move, so let's see, does Steve Regal have? No. Okay, so here we see Don Cornudle here. Don Cornudle. So he has a single asterisk here. So he's going to do a second rope drop kick. And when you have a single asterisk, that just means that he has to roll for control after he does his second rope drop kick to go for the pin. But if he has a double asterisk, like a small package, then it's an automatic pin. And then, again, beside the move will tell you how much damage the move does, or in the case of a small package, it's not applicable. You're not rolling any damage. So here you see Rocky Cornudle. You have Big Bubba Rogers, Paul Jones. So I think another plus to this game also, Danny Brown, Mike Jackson. So another plus to this game is, you pay, I paid, I think it was $40 something, whatever it was for this hardcover, for this game. And then I'm like, look at all the wrestlers that I'm getting. I'm getting the full roster pretty much of what was, in '86 for Jim Crockett Promotions. So that's really cool, I think. I'm getting a whole roster of guys here, for my money. George South, Mitch Snow, so some of these lesser known, enhancement talent, if you want, that's what you want to call them. He didn't get pictures for. Tony Zane, Vernon Deaton. So, you could have your guys wrestle the lesser talent, and we'll get to the rating system. So you kind of get the gist of, who's in the game here. And then here is the ranking system here. So this is what their energy is going to be at here. So Ric Flair was the champ at this time. So he is 1,000 power points. So you're going to see here a huge difference, right? So the next guy to Ric Flair is Dusty Rhodes at 850 power points. So that's their health for the game, right? So if Ric Flair now was to fight Vernon Deaton at 110, it's going to take Vernon Deaton a million years to try and take off Ric Flair's power points. Like maybe he could do it, but it's going to be realistic to the sense where Ric Flair is going to probably, get him. This guy will be down into the minuses. And then there's rules where if you're in the minus, your guy can go for not automatic pins, but, he could go for a pin as opposed to using, the special move that he has with the asterisk beside it. So you can see like there's a nice difference in that, and there's room for guys to move up because if they're on win streaks or whatever, then they can move up. So someone like Tully Blanchard, who's at 670, if he gets another 30 points, now he's at 700. So now he's ahead of all these guys. Now he's closer to Barry Windham in that. So there's room for, it's like a living wrestling game. That's how I'm seeing it. It's kind of like you play your federation, your territory, and you're able to move guys up and down, and there's it's kind of consequences for them and stuff. Here's like the tag teams. So the tag teams have their own ratings and special rules. I have to read a little more on the tag teams here, but you're kind of seeing Road Warriors, Rock and Roll Express, the Horsemen, the Russians, Rick Rude, Manny Fernandez, Paul Jones Army. So you have those. You have the managers. So of course you have Cornette, J.J. Dillon, Paul Jones, Baby Doll, and then they have their own, their own interference that they could do in the match. So, Jim Cornette, tennis racket jab to the face. Paul Jones, choke with the cane and whip, doing a plus 19 damage. So this is all very cool. This is all specific to that character, to that manager, of what they will do. They're going to act like how they did in that time period, So they tell you, and then they tell you, like, if you don't know who manages who, this is who you could have, managing whoever. I mean, it's up to you, whoever you want to use. Gives you a little write-up and that. So very, very cool. Now here's the next cool thing about this, is that this man also did specialty matches, okay? There are stipulation specialty matches in here. There's a Lana street fight. There's a battle royal. There's a bunkhouse match. Okay? Then it gives you the write-up of how to play them. There's a coal miner's glove on a pole match. There's a first blood match. There's an I quit match. There's an Indian strap match. Okay? Like, it's just unbelievable that this guy did all this, with his friends back when and wherever they were in high school watching wrestling, and, made all these rules, all these different things. A Mexican death match, a scaffold match, a steel cage match. These are matches I've never seen. Some of these matches I've never seen played anywhere else. But in this book, a street fight match, a tape fist match, 2 out of 3 falls match, a visit from Captain Obvious. This is, his thing here that he's doing a write-up for. And then, at the back of the book, there's a wrestler player notes here. So, very, very well done here. This is crazy. I'm surprised no one has reviewed this even and tried to play this out on YouTube. I want to read more of this, and then I'm really going to try and give it, a good effort to give it a really good playthrough that it deserves, and, try and put it up here so you guys can see how it's played. And so this is the squared circle. This is the core rule book. You need this book to play with the other territories and books here. So I'm just going to go through and show you some of the other ones quickly here. So that was the squared circle for the core rule book. This is the latest one, World Class Dallas, from 81 to 87. Okay, so of course you're getting the Von Erichs in this, and then all the other guys here, Abdul the Butcher, the Freebirds, all those guys here. So this is the most recent one. This just came out in 2022, and again, he gives write-ups on everything. I'm sorry guys if the angles aren't that great. I'm kind of trying to show it with the camera and that and the angles, so please just bear with me on this. So he gives a write-up here. St. Patrick. I call him St. Patrick because he did all this work. Him and his lovely wife, or it was just him or his wife, whatever. But Mr. St. Patrick, you're awesome. You did a lot of work here. This is crazy. So he gives all kinds of write-ups, the calendars for the dates of that time period. Again with the wrestling raffle chart, the pinfall submission chart, and then you're gonna get all the wrestlers here: Kerry Von Erich, Kevin Von Erich. So one thing, if you don't agree with his ratings, he's not open to argument on that. I don't think so. Please don't bother him if you're looking to say, well, I think Michael Hayes should be higher than Bundy or something like that. Like, don't you know, he this is what he saw. This is how he judged it. This, so, and you have to respect that. But the good thing is, like I said, this is a living wrestling game that you can, play with your wrestler and play these different matches and get them rated, higher to get to these other different points here. So, and you're seeing here like he has like Rick Rude again, and I'm sure Rick Rude in world class was different to Rick Rude in NWA or in WWF, right? So that's pretty cool that he has all the moves again for Rick Rude and Jimmy Garvin. Iceman Parsons, Buck Zumoff. We won't talk about that guy. One Man Gang, Black Bart. So he has all kinds of guys in this, guys. I'm just kind of quickly showing you here. Chris Youngblood, Mark Youngblood. You're getting a whole ton of guys on the roster here. Let me just, where's the ratings for, you got Coco Ware, Norville Austin. So I'll try and get to where the ratings are for the singles guys, so you can see who the champ is. And we all know it's Kerry Von Erich. And again, you could cross match. So here's the ratings here. So we got Kerry Von Erich. Now he's not rated as high as Ric Flair. Ric Flair was 1,000 points. Kerry Von Erich is 840 points. So again, you could have champion versus champion if you want. You could have Ric Flair at 1,000 points versus Kerry Von Erich at 840 points. And then the rest of the guys are rated here. Here's the rest of the roster here. So you're seeing who's in the game, who he has documented here. There's quite a bit of guys here. There's 94 singles wrestlers here. Unbelievable, unbelievable. In just one book. And then he's got the tag teams here. So, and they have all their double team tag moves and stuff, which is crazy. This is insane. And then there's the tag team rankings. There's tag team rankings in the other book as well. So the Von Erichs, Kerry and Kevin, 500 ranking points. So those they help with the team, I guess, for being coordinated, I guess, in the match and stuff like that. It kind of tells you about how many PowerPoints does each wrestler have to start a tag team match, if they're a tag team or if they're thrown together like Abdullah and Kamal in this example here. So he's going to give you examples for that. So, and then of course the managers in the back here, Larry Sharp, manager moveset, and then it says Larry Sharp didn't get involved. So why force a manager moveset on Larry Sharp if he didn't do anything, right? So that's the great thing about this. He keeps it real. He keeps it real in this game. Unbelievable. Okay? So, and then, title history. So like I said, I think the only thing I'm thinking about is that, I probably should have got a PDF version of this so I could print everything out and just, at whenever I need it. And then, here's the stipulation matches that he has for which was favored in World Class Dallas. You have the $10,000 on a pool match, the $5,000 elimination match, an arm wrestling match, a body slam, battle royal. He has the rules for these matches. Captain's match. You could play these out. Dragon match, falls count anywhere. Handcuff match, penalty box match. Okay, he made out the rules for these matches and how to play them. So that is the World Class Dallas. Now I'll get to the next book. Okay, so here's the next one. I took it out of the plastic that I was in. This is the 1985-1990 New York Territory. Of course, this is the WWF book. So you see Hogan, Macho Man, Warrior, Andre, Piper, all very mainstays back in that time. Strikeforce, Jake the Snake Roberts, and then a write-up again on the back of, the territory. I'm not going to go into that. I want you guys to purchase this and do your reading on this. And this is my first time opening this one here. So he gives, table of contents of, what's needed. I'm sure each book is different and adds, a little more rules or whatever the case is. He gives write-ups on all these things here. Mr. St. Patrick. So, There's all the introductions in that. The same, so it kind of is, the same as the other books. He gives like the dates and write-ups and everything like that. And then you have your special matches, like what matches are playing at this time here. Okay, so if you want to play some of those, you're able to. It kind of gives us sample schedule, and then the same chart for pinfall submissions and stuff. Here we see Gorilla and Bobby, and yeah, and then there's also, he added on this one, I believe, you're seeing here, there's a quick play game. So if you don't want your matches going, half hour, 40 minutes, whatever it is it takes to run your match, he gives a write up, on how to play a quick play game. So there's the quick play, setup here. This is something I have to read, how to do that, but there's instructions on how to play quick play matches. If you want to do that, if you don't want to play a full length match that might, take an hour, I'm guessing maybe, you have that. And the way he put it too with this game, some of these other games that we played, like the Stratomatics and stuff like that, some of those games were long, and if you're willing to put in the time for that one game, you might have your one-off matches or whatever, it might take long, but these are just the matches kind of thing, there's, if you're willing to play a full season in another sports sim, what's it to play a few matches and that might take long, and enjoy it, and it seems like what you're watching, that what you watched on TV. So all this here is just a lot of nostalgia in these books. It's just unbelievable. Okay, so he has a wrestling raffle chart. I'd have to see if it's different for each one. It probably isn't, but it's there. And then he has a ref bump chart. Okay, so there's all kinds of. I always feel like there's throwing dice or something in the book here, but it isn't. There's all these different things in this book here. See, Hogan and the Warrior. And now, so here we have Hulk Hogan's moveset. So, and then, there'll be stuff, that will tell you when a guy, throw out of the ring. So then, okay, now you can go to the throw out of the ring chart, and, then you're going to, roll on that or whatever. Or some guys will have, a cheat or whatever. So then, to roll on the cheat chart. And then this is really interesting too. Here's special for Hulk Hogan hulking up. Special rules for Hulk Hogan hulking up. How awesome is this? This is crazy. This is craziness here. Okay? And then you have Andre the Giant, and see, so here's a cheat. So then you refer to the cheat chart. Okay? And then, it gives you a little cue to go to the cheat chart. And then look at Andre's moves here, like plus 29, plus 15, plus, you're adding the extra 6-sided dice to that, so that's crazy. And then it gives you write-ups, giving you a write-up on Andre, and then has the Andre the Giant chart again. So I think, they probably added more to it, so that's awesome. Andre the Giant chart 2.0. And then you have the other guys, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man. This one looks like it has a little more pictures in it. You got a little more deeper with the pictures. Ted DiBiase, Piper. So very cool. All with their moves, guys. Awesome stuff. I cannot wait to play this. The Iron Sheik, Volkov, Boss Man, Akeem, Bam Bam Bigelow, Superfly. So, you're getting all the guys. I know there's a ton of guys in this one. We're gonna see how many guys. Blue Blazer, Tom McGee, guys. Tom McGee is in here. Okay. Wow. Unbelievable. Okay, I'm gonna get to where it says for their rankings here. Even Ted Arcidi's in here. Now, one guy I think he said he didn't put in here was Bruno Sammartino. And that would be older Bruno Sammartino. And he was saying, I think he wasn't able to get the proper move sets for Bruno. He wasn't able to get enough recordings on Bruno in this time period. So that's kind of sad, because you could have old Bruno take on Macho Man or, Adonis and all that kind of stuff. So here you see Hulk Hogan, 1,000 PowerPoints. And the next one, Andre the Giant, 875, Ultimate Warrior, 850, and so on. And there's over 142 singles guys in this, guys. 142 wrestlers in this one book that you're able to play. Right? Unbelievable. All the enhancement talent. Even Angelo Mosca Jr. I didn't know he made, he made the cut. Okay? There's all kinds of guys in this. All right? You've seen all the names in here. And it's just amazing. And look at, it even gives rankings notes and stuff here. Mr. T and Zeus are special attractions, not ranked, but they have very... So I'm surprised even that he didn't even put Bruno like this then, if he put these guys in. But I don't know. I guess he's probably going to... I heard he wants to do a pre-WWF one. So, and then you're seeing the tag teams, Demolition... Their double team move, Decapitation, the Bulldogs, Dynamite Kid top rope headbutt off Davey Boy's shoulders. It gives the description. Davey Boy Smith launches Dynamite Kid into a flying headbutt. Like, it's right there and it's detailed and you know exactly what you're doing. The double headbutt that they did that. The double headbutt. Awesome. Awesome stuff. The Hart Foundation, Unbelievable, guys. They got Bundy and Stud, the Brainbusters. Now, I think the only one he screwed up on in this particular book, there you see Colossal Connection, Twin Towers, and that. This is so awesome, guys. Look at this. One whips opponent into the other's headbutt, plus 20. Plus 20. Wow. Anyways, I think the only one he screwed up on and not putting in here is the Dream Team of Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake. They didn't make their page for some reason, didn't make the cut. He forgot to put it in or something like that. So that's one of the only ones here that's missing from this. And I think there's a few other FAQs or whatever that he might have missed up on. You want to play Rhythm and Blues? They're right here, guys. Roddy Piper and Bob Orton. You want to play Don Morocco and Bob Orton? They're here. Spivey and Rotundo. And I know you could play these guys in other games. Look at Tito Santana and Pedro Morales. You can't play them in the other game, right? So they're here and listed with their moves. Unbelievable. Jimmy Snuka and Ricky Steamboat. They're the Polynesian tag team. I forget what their names were. The Young Stallions, the Conquistadors, and then, they have Axe and Smash, as they should be ranked. Number 1, 500 ranking points. You can get into, again, little arguments like, oh, I think the Can-Am Connection were better than the Killer Bees, or whatever the case is, right? But, again, this was his game. He did all the homework, video work, and stuff like that. So, I'm not going to argue with the man on his rankings. Everything is always under dispute or whatever, right, for that stuff. So, and then there's stuff on, how to do your tag matches and add the PowerPoints and all that. The managers and what they do. Look at this, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. Even Slick, Dr. Style Slick, and what he does, pulls rope apart. Opponent falls out of the ring, go to the throw out of the ring chart. Doing what Slick does. Pass the cane into the ring for a wrestler to use, then pin. Unbelievable, guys. I cannot. Mr. St. Patrick, you did an awesome job with this. Elizabeth. Look at, right? Should Elizabeth be interfering in matches? I seen her interfering in another game. Elizabeth did not interfere on behalf of the Macho Man, except for the famous moment at SummerSlam. And the only other time I could say for Elizabeth, her interfering of sorts is when, when like when Macho Man would be wrestling like Hulk Hogan, and he's gonna spike him into the post on the outside of the ring, and then she would jump in front of Hulk, not to do it, and then so that was like kind of like her interference in the match, type thing. So maybe that probably could have been put in, I bet, but I guess he didn't see it enough to maybe do it. But for the most part, she didn't. And then Oliver Humperdinck, he didn't really interfere either, So very cool, guys. And then again, they have their own matches. I'm not, I'll show you the matches here. Even Kim Chi and Kamala together, right? Or even Kim Chi with Sika if you wanted, probably. So then they have the boxing match. You got the boxing match. They have a bunkhouse battle royal. Finishing move match. Guys, this is blowing my mind, guys. Flag match, handicap match, lumberjack match, a Texas tornado match. I've been wanting to play a Texas tornado match, and this game has it. The Royal Rumble. You could do a Royal Rumble in this game. Are you kidding me? He did rules for a Royal Rumble. The Snake Pit match, a steel cage match, WWF style, Survivor Series, tag team, title versus title match, tuxedo match. I've seen the one with Mr. Fuji and Hillbilly Jim. And this is just crazy. This is crazy, guys. And the same notes in that. So that is the squared circle for the WWF, and the last book in this collection so far is the AWA squared circle. So I'm just going to open that. Give me a sec and we'll get right to that quickly. Okay, so here is the AWA squared circle. So you're seeing, of course, Mr. Vern Gagne, the leader of the AWA, then Rick Martel, who was AWA champ, and Nick Bockwinkel, of course, another famous AWA champ. And this one, wow, actually has the AWA logo. I'm surprised, but very nice. I like it. Love it. All right, now we get inside this book. Now this one was made, I guess 2021, maybe 22. I think it was made in 2022. And he gives all these legal disclaimers and that, so that's awesome. Okay, so again, you got your introduction, your table of contents to try and find everything. He gives a little write-up again of what he probably remembers of the AWA and all the different other books that the other different territories in each book. You got your introduction to the AWA, if you're not really familiar. Now, one thing I'll say, guys, when playing these games, it's great to play it as a game. It's even better if you watched matches, if you know this time period, because then you could picture it better. It flows in your imagination. You could see it happening. A lot of this game too, it might go from one move to another move that doesn't really make sense, but you can make it make sense in your mind. Okay, if a guy does a body slam and then all of a sudden he throws a punch and he got it, and he does a drop kick or something like that, and the moves didn't really flow like they should, you make them flow. You know what I mean? You use your imagination and say like, okay, well, he body slammed him, Macho Man got up, and then the Dragon, as Macho Man got up, the Dragon drop kicked him, and then, hit him with a chop or whatever as he got up again. So, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of tell the flow of the match. If it doesn't really go together, you make it work, So, he gives like a lot of write-ups on the AWA stuff here. And then, you're seeing some nice pictures here and that. So, again, he gives, the formulas for, for adding and subtracting PowerPoints to guys. There's a quick play rules. And, here's a little advertisement for the other books. And you see, so Vern's starting off as number 1. So I'm going to guess Vern Gagne is probably number 1 rated. And then I don't know about if Greg's number 2, though. And this, again, is running from 1970 to 1987. While we're looking at this, too, I want to say the next, if you had to do another book, I know you're probably working on whatever people request, whatever books or whatever wrestlers from him. But I would say the natural next book he should do for me, I would think, should be a WCW book, just because he doesn't have like Sting and the Steiners and all those kind of guys that should actually really supplement the core book, really. So I think that to me should just be the automatic natural supplement book from like 87, because the first book is from 86. So from 87 to 1990, 91, whatever, to get in whatever guys that didn't make it in the core book there, and I think that to me is a natural um, should be like the next book, even before all these other three books, I think. But anyways, I'll talk more about that at the end. So you got Bockwinkel. Look at all the moves for Nick Bockwinkel. Unbelievable, guys. Ray Stevens. The Crusher, Dick the Bruiser, Sergeant Slaughter, Jerry Blackwell, Kurt Hennig, Larry the Axe Hennig, Otto Wantz, Larry Sabisco, Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan, I'm sure he's different here to WWF Hulk Hogan, right? As he should be, and he gives little write-ups and stuff. So, King Kong Brody, and the AWA had so much talent. It had so much talent in its time that, it really could have been the WWF if Vern had played it right, guys? Animal and Hawk when they were younger in here. Brad Ringens, Jumpin' Jim, so he's got all the guys. They're all in here. They're charted up. Super Ninja, Ninja Go. I never heard of him, but these are guys that you can just beat the crap out of, with your top guys. Pat Tanaka, Paul Diamond, Bad Company. So, I'm not going to go through all these guys here. You could go through them. You're getting a gist that there are a lot of guys in here, guys. There are tons of guys in here, right? And you're able to play whatever matches you want, You're able to play whatever matches you want. Friendly neighborhood reminders. So these are probably little small FAQs that he's probably writing up at the back to, remind you of what you're doing when you're playing. So there's the PowerPoints. So Vern Gagne, of course, is number one at 850 PowerPoints. He probably booked himself there. He didn't even need St. Patrick to put him at 8. Vern would have put himself there. Bockwinkel's at 820. Rick Martel, 810. And so on. Hulk Hogan's at 780 in the AWA. And as he should be, because he wasn't AWA champ. They always took the belt off him and all that kind of stuff. So where's he have Greg? Greg is ranked 16th at 685. So that's good. He's down the line. And you've seen some of the other guys here. And some of the other guys. There's like, how many guys are in this set here for singles? 97 singles wrestlers here. That's so much, guys. High Flyers, Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens with all their tag team moves, the Road Warriors, the Midnight Rockers. Unbelievable, guys. This is such a hidden gem, this game. And it, again, you might have to, if you don't have the dice, you might have to get the dice. If you don't have, like I said, the best way to probably get these, as nice as these hardcovers are, if you got the money, get the hardcovers. Are really, really nice. But if it's not, excuse me, it's not really, it's not really, it's not really thing for playing kind of thing. Like it's not, it'd be a hassle to play. You'd have to write everything out. So I probably might have to write things out for my first play. Just so I'm not flipping back and forth with the game, with these books. But like I said, I might get the PDF after. They have Sherry Martel and her moveset as a manager. They have the different managers, Paulie Dangerously, and all that stuff here. Funny, they probably did that wrong here. They got, Paul Ellering, and they got Paulie Dangerous. Yeah, so they did two pictures. So that's a little mistake there. Paul Ellering is here, but Paulie Dangerously is not. They got the wrong picture for him. Anyways, slight mistake, and that is all right. Anyways, guys, this is a crazy, crazy amount of detail that Mr. St. Patrick has put into this, and him and his wife have sacrificed trying to make this game, I guess, get out of the box and get going. I believe he's continuing to make books. And again, I think the natural next book he should do, to me, or very soon, I think, is the supplement to this here. To have the later NWA, from 1987 to 1990, 91 or whatever, that goes into WCW. Probably, that should be a book on its own to kind of supplement this, to get, like I said, the Stinger, the Steiners, Ricky Steamboat and Terry Funk and all those guys. So I think that, to me, should be a natural one. And then either after that, you go into the old WWF, WWF with Bruno and all those guys. If you could get, the footage of all of them, to probably do a set like that. Or, another fan favorite one a lot of people like is the Memphis territory. I didn't see a lot of Memphis, but, there's a lot of guys that went through Memphis too. So that, to me, I think those three, to me, are much needed probably to go along with these books here. But these four here will, I'm sure, keep you busy for a long, long time until any of those other books come out. And again, these are all compatible. You could use any guy and make them wrestle out of any other territory in these books. And again, all you're needing are these dice here, and your pen and paper. You're gonna need a pen to mark down what the power levels are at and all that stuff, and what the damage levels at, and so there's a small bit of note taking that you're gonna have to do when playing the game. But you know what, guys, that's a small sacrifice to the game as a grand scheme of what you're getting. It is just unbelievable. And I am so glad that I made this purchase. I'm very happy. I haven't even played this game, and I'm very happy with this purchase already. Okay, so again, like for me though, like I said, hardcovers might not be the way to go unless you want to really kind of collect the game and have it on your shelf. I think the true honest way to play it or to get it would be a PDF, so then you're able to print it out at your leisure. You can print out all of, depending on what a cost you're able to afford, or, again, print out whatever, charts and wrestlers that you want to play with. And, like I said, give it a shot. I think it's worth a shot. I think I don't ever want to knock anybody else's game. I love the Phil Singer Games wrestling. I've been playing that for, close to 2 years now, I guess it's been. And I've had good times with that. I think, each game will always have its positives and negatives, and it's a matter of what you feel works for you. So for me, this game, like I said, this is like the feature length movie, and it's like a living wrestling game, compared to other games on the market out there. So so this is just wonderful. Again, I thank you to Mr. St. Patrick. I'm just surprised nobody has done any of this with this game, showing off the content for this game. I hope it really takes off. I hope, I wish Mr. St. Patrick a lot of success. I want to try and do, I want to probably play a few matches offhand, write up whatever charts I have to, or, go to my local Staples or whatever and print off, a few sheets, scan them or whatever. Or maybe I'll just end up buying, each book as a PDF separately, maybe each month to get it printed off. The only thing is, the World Class Dallas is not a PDF yet, so you cannot get this yet as a PDF. But the other three are in PDF form on the Lulu website. And again, if you have any questions, again, his name is all over the bottom of these pages here. And again, that is the squared circle at gmail.com. So And again, and here's another thing. He used to do these sports sims magazines, so they also sell those on the Lulu site as well. So if you want to give those a shot, check them out. And yeah, thank you again for watching, guys. This is a little bit of a longer video, but again, I wanted to kind of get across because there's just no content on just the books and stuff, or just this game itself. So I wanted to really show this off as best as I could. I hope you get the gist of what you're getting with this game if you're to purchase it like this. And yeah, I look forward to hopefully seeing videos on this. I'm going to try and do like I said, a few playthroughs, see how it goes. And then hopefully if I get good, I know what I'm doing for. I'll try and do a singles match, a tag match, maybe a specialty match, and all that type of stuff. To show you the flow of the game, and maybe how I'm doing things with this game. So I am so excited. I was so excited when these books came today, and I am really looking forward to playing this game and getting involved. And if I have any questions, I know where to. He's willing to answer. St. Patrick is willing to answer. Mr. St. Patrick, Mr. St. Patrick is willing to answer questions on that Gmail account. There's a email account there. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. I appreciate your support. I thank you for the comments that you leave, and I'm so appreciative and thank you for supporting me and watching my content. I'll try and do more games when I can. More playthroughs, more unboxings, whatever. I do have stuff coming down the line, and I just be patient, and hopefully I have some more of this content coming. I'll probably have some more Phil Singer games content coming. Playing their game. I'll try and do some more matches. I actually have some more little tweaks I've made to the game that I think I have it just right where I like it now to play it. But anyways, guys, this has been a great video. Thank you again, Mr. St. Patrick. I support you. I cannot wait for your next release. I will try and get some gameplays going. I thank you again for watching. Take care, guys. God bless you, and see you in the next video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them. I will try and answer them as best as I can. And I thank you all. God bless, and take care.